everybody, and welcome back to episode 2 of the So Inspired Knits podcast. If you're new here, my name is Ellen and I run my little business called So Inspire, and this is my little podcast where I talk about all of my knitting things, because fairly recently I have got into knitting in a huge way. And one of my favourite things is sitting down and watching knitting podcasts, so I really want to start my own. So these podcasts is where I talk about my knitting, and then the rest of my videos are all of my sewing and small business content. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the podcast. Grab your knitting or crochet or sewing, whichever, and grab a drink, and yeah, let's just get started. I've got so much to talk about and I'm so excited. I haven't filmed a podcast in quite a while, as you will probably be able to tell, and I've been meaning to film podcasts for like the past few weeks and I just haven't got round to it, unfortunately. I've been really busy with doing a few of my practical exams for my GCSEs, but yeah, so I'm so excited to talk about everything today. I've got quite a few finished objects and some new whips and things to show you. So I'm going to start off with finished objects, and the first finished object is actually what I'm wearing. I actually don't think I'd even started this last podcast, so yes, but this is my, well, this is the first sweater I've ever made for myself, and oh, I just love it so much. So this yarn is King Cole Timeless Chunky in the shade Green Tea. It's a mixture of acrylic and alpaca, and it's really nice to wear. And then the pattern, well, the body, honestly, I just kind of made up, which I know sounds a bit ridiculous, but yeah, after like reading a couple of free patterns and I just kind of figured it out. And then the sleeve pattern is actually a pageboard pattern, and it is, I think it's called the Veer sweater or something. I'm not quite sure. I found it on Ravelry. I will link it down below. It's not, I don't think it's actually a pattern for this kind of yarn, which is why I did start making the actual sweater, but that's why I wasn't really working. But I used the sleeve instructions, and the sleeves are my favourite thing, and they're the thing that I loved so much about the sweater that I saw. They are just this beautiful like lace design, would you call that lace, and then just 1 by 1 ribbing on the cuffs, and then I did a folded neckband just because I prefer the look of folded neckbands, and then it just goes down into ribbing, and then it's just obviously stocking that. I would actually I think I would like to block this one properly. Drop shoulder construction, and yeah, I love it so much. It's honestly one of my favourite pieces, and I wear it every time that I can and I'm really proud of it. I don't say that very often about things I knit, but I'm really proud of this. One thing I will say about this pattern is I am a beginner knitter in terms of like how long I've been knitting, but I see the things I knit aren't necessarily very beginner, but this pattern that I bought for the sleeves it didn't hold your hand, basically. So if you are really new to knitting, it's definitely doable. It's not difficult, but just be aware that it doesn't like hold your hand through every single thing that you used to do, like other patterns do. Okay, second finished object was definitely a whip last episode, and it is finished. I finished this quite a while ago. But this is the cardigan which I made for my mum. This is it finished. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't love this and I really want to redo it, which I know sounds a bit silly, but I don't know if I actually will. But I don't know if my mum will let me because she's like, no, it's fine, I love it. But every time she wears it, I'm like, you could have done that better, Ellen. And I think it is partly because it is like knit flat and seamed, and I just don't think that, personally, I don't think the look of like knitted knitwear being seamed together is as like looks as, not professional, but like as seamless, obviously. But you probably get what I mean. And yeah, there's just like, I wouldn't follow the same pattern. I would do like a drop shoulder. I think it would look really nice, but I don't know. And like the ribbing is like really thin. I don't know, but I do really like how the yarn has worked up. I think it's really beautiful and it suits my mum so well and she looks beautiful in it, and that's the main thing. I'm not going to tell you the pattern that I followed for this because I literally didn't follow it at all. I literally changed so many things, but it was a king Cole pattern. But I did like a balloon sleeve, so I just knitted straight up actually. So I did the cuff, then I did rapid increases to the amount that it said, and then just knitted all the way up, and then obviously did the shaping for the sleeves. So yeah, I think the thing I don't like the most about seaming is the shoulder seams, because you can't do like, I don't know, obviously I may be doing it wrong, but like seaming down the side, like you literally can't really see there's a seam. Obviously you probably can with this because it's variegated yarn, but do you know what I mean? Where with the shoulders it just doesn't look as nice, but that totally could be me. So yeah, this is the second finished object. I am quite happy with it. It's not my favourite piece, I'm not gonna lie, but this was the second thing I've ever knitted, so I don't think it's too bad, and it does look better after I blocked it. But yeah, the fit is just a bit strange as well, but I think that was the pattern. Like, if I'd used a different pattern, 100% I would not be saying this, so I think that was a mistake. But there's this, and it is so warm and cozy, and my mum really likes it, so you know. And then I had like one whole ball and like 3/4 of a ball I think left from the cardigan, so I made my mum a scarf. I will make sure to put all of the pattern names, I'll link them all down below, but I'll also like make sure to put them on the screen, because this is a free pattern from Pearl Soho. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it will be on the screen. And I really wanted to just make her a scarf with the leftover yarn, but I wanted to do like a really interesting stitch pattern. So yeah, I've no clue what this stitch is called but it's this one, if you know. And I really like it, although obviously I don't know if you can tell, but the scarf has turned out quite small. Like, that's not really the length of the scarf, and when you put it on it does look a bit silly, but if you're like wrapped up in a coat it's not too bad. So because of that, what I'm thinking of doing is just like sewing these two together and making it a cowl. I just think it'll be a lot nicer, so I think I will do that. But I really love this, and I definitely want to do this like stitch pattern again. It was really simple. It's just like a 4-row repeat, and it's, yeah, really simple, but it just looks really effective. And that is what I love about knitting, is that these sleeves, right, when you look at these you're like, oh my god, that looks so complex, like, and amazing. It's literally just like a combination of yarn overs and knit two togethers. Like, what? How does that create this? Do you know what I mean? I just find it crazy. And then I actually have 2 finished sock projects. These socks, I I had literally just cast on, I think, in the last podcast. These have been done for like a month or so now. These are DK weight socks. The pattern I used was the free DK weight vanilla sock pattern from the Crazy Sock Lady, which is on Ravelry. Heel flap and gusset, and then just a standard toe. I don't know, where you decrease and then Kitchener. I held a fingering weight yarn double to create DK, because at the time I only had, the smallest needles I had was 3.5. So yeah, but since then I have got some smaller needles, so I can now make fingering weight socks, which I'm very happy about. And I kind of wish these were fingering weight socks, and I think I would wear them more. And also I think I managed to make the foot too long, which I'm not quite sure how that happened, but that was a whoops. But DK weight socks work up so quick, like so quick. And yeah, but I do absolutely love this yarn. I have, oh god, oh dearie me, it is Rico Superba Bamboo Superwash, if that helps. I need to weigh this because I'm not sure how much I have left, but I don't unfortunately think I'll have enough left to make a shorty pair, because I did it held double. But I don't know, because like, what do I do with that? I don't know. I need to weigh it and see. But yeah, I don't know. Should I rip them back and make the foot shorter, or should I just unravel the whole thing, or do I just leave it? No, I'll probably just end up leaving it, to be honest with you. So I'm going to make myself a pair of fingering weight socks, and then see if I wear them more. But yeah, that was a very long ramble about a pair of socks, but here they are in all their glory. I haven't got a sock blocker because I'm just not sure it's necessary, because like when you wear them they block themselves, right? And then the final, well, knitting finished object, I do have one crochet thing to show you. This pair of socks, which are for my mum. So I literally finished these on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday this week. It's Saturday today. I don't know if you watched my last episode, but in it I showed you this yarn, which is by King Cole. It's the King Cole zigzag 4-ply. I was like, I'm so interested to see how this works up. I'm just not sure. It's self-striping. I don't know how many of you were sat there thinking, that's gonna be self-striping, does this girl know this? No, I did not. So like, I started working this up and I was like, oh my god, this is creating stripes. That might have just been so dumb of me, but yeah, now I have a stripy pair of socks and my mum loves them, and I'm not gonna lie, I love them too. It's the same heel flap and gusset. I did these 64 stitches and they fit her perfectly, and then I did a 2x2 ribbed cuff, and yeah, I really like them, and I really want a pair of my own in fingering weight because they just feel so nice. And I actually did, well, I didn't do both of them because it didn't arrive. I did one of them on the, it's called Addy, is it Sock Wonder? Something like that, but this. I think I've heard Laura from the, who is Penrose Knits, from the Knitting Pickle podcast talk about these. And she said she really got on with them, so I just thought I'd try them, because I don't know about you, but doing socks on magic loop just seemed like a real faff, to be honest. So yeah, these basically, one is a longer, and one of the needles is longer, and then this one's shorter, so it makes it like easier on the hands, and I love it. Love it. This is like reignited my love for knitting socks. So if you haven't tried it, I would definitely give 9-inch circulars a go, and I think definitely with one smaller. Obviously I haven't tried it with both the same, but I can't even imagine them both being the same length. I don't even know how you, like, yeah. As you can see, I have quite a lot of this yarn left. I need to weigh it, but I think this might be enough to get a shorty pair of socks out of, which I'm very excited about, because then we can have matching socks. I'm really proud of these and I love them a lot. This might be a bit random, but I have a love-hate relationship knitting socks. Like, it feels like so much work for such a tiny object, but when the sock's done, it's so satisfying because it's in such like small needles and yarn. But since I've got that circular, I think I now want to knit socks again. I just quite like having a little project, you know, and it's just so good for taking in the car and things. So I think I will always have a pair of socks on the go, because they've been done for a few days now and I'm like, I feel like I need a sock project. But I have actually bought some yarn for some socks, which I will show you. But before we move on to whips, I just wanted to show you I finished this crochet tote bag. I started making these granny squares in, I think it was like September time, and I'm not really sure. I think knitting just took over basically, and I just really had no desire to sit and knit and sit and crochet granny squares really. So I ended up like just taking them whenever I went in the car, and that's how I kind of finished them. And then I'm not gonna lie, it took me quite a few days to crochet all of these together. But it's turned out as a pretty cute tote bag and I love it. And I don't know why, but the straps really satisfy me. I'm not really sure why, but they are just like a few, I think it's like 6 rows of single crochet, but I don't know, I just think it's really cute and I love these colours together as well. Okay, on to whips. I'm so excited about my whips and I'm so excited to share them with you. The first one, you actually, oh, also I've made myself project bags. Yes, I finally got around to it. This is my little one for my socks, which I'm in love with, and then I have like 4 others for all my other projects. But first whip is this sweater. The last time you saw this had to be put on hold because Will and the gang decided to stop selling the yarn I was using and they didn't buy enough. Yeah. So that was a bit awkward. Originally it was just saying the yarn was out of stock, and I went on the website one day and it just wasn't there, and I was like, sorry, like I kind of really want to finish this sweater, so could we, where are you? But so I emailed them. I was like, okay, is this yarn coming back, because I need to know whether I should just fold this sweater and like cry inside or whether to just wait. And they said no, it should be coming back sometime in March. It's just having a new name. So thank the Lord, it came back in March with its new name and they still had the colour. Now I don't, as I expected, the colour isn't exactly the same because obviously it's different, not only a different dye lot, it's a freaking different like whole, you know, well it is a different dye lot, but you get what I mean. They've like gone through the whole process of rebranding it, so I didn't expect it to be the same. But saying that, I don't think it is too bad at all, and I'm not even sure you're going to be able to tell on camera, or maybe you are, I don't know. Can you tell? Oh yeah, I think you can. But in some lights you literally can't tell at all. So this is the Essentials sweater, I believe, from Darling J'adore, and I really am enjoying this pattern, but I'm not enjoying the yarn. Like, this was a novice knitter choice of yarn. Big mistake. I would definitely not get this yarn again, or I don't mean to be rude, but I just don't think I would purchase a sweater quantity of yarn from places like Wool and the Gang or like We Are Knitters, because I just find that like you can buy yarn for such a better price and it's like just as nice or more. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean that in a rude way. But anyway, so this is made out of what was Super Trooper, but is now called the One Merino. It is 100% superwash merino wool, and it's in the shade Midnight. This is how far I've got. So before the whole yarn saga went on, where it went completely out of stock, I had literally done like most of the body. Well, no, probably just over 2/3 of the body, and I obviously had split for the sleeves, hadn't done any of the sleeves. So in the past 2 weeks I have done both sleeves, and now I am on the bottom ribbing. Can you tell the colour difference? I feel like it's coming up really harsh on camera. As I said, in some lights you literally can't tell at all, and then in others you're like, ooh. I don't know, I'm hoping it'll wash out. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's got twisted rib on the cuffs and neckband, folded neckband, and then it has German short rows, and then it's raglan. And yeah, I love it. I cannot wait for it to be done. I don't love the yarn though, sorry. And it's also this is honestly, like, I'm so dumb. Like, I had the yarn and then I had to choose, and then I chose a pattern, and I chose a pattern for a DK weight yarn. This is not a DK weight yarn. This is I think they call it Aran weight, but it's weird in it, you can like make it be DK if you like have it stretched. I don't think I'm making any sense, because on the ball band the gauge is 16 stitches to 23 rows. I don't know if that is an Aran weight gauge, but it says, oh no, it does. On the label it says 5mm needles, but on the website it says 3.5 to, I think it's 8 or something, and this project's on 4. So yeah, that was just completely my bad, but anyway. And when the yarn came back, it came back at a higher price, and I was like, great, this is just great. I needed 5 more balls to finish this project. I know, I wasn't just a little bit off. Oh god, honestly, this sweater has just been a whole bunch of learning curves, but I just know that I would not make that mistake at all now. Like, I have learned so much from watching knitting podcasts and just like following all these knitting people. It's crazy how much I've learned in however long. And when I asked for this yarn for Christmas, I literally didn't know anything. I don't think I'd even started watching knitting podcasts then. So yeah, I'm definitely not to go for this again, but I am really excited for the finished sweater. And I just think that, especially because the colour I've chosen as well, I'm hoping that it's just going to be really like timeless and just last forever. And I'm making size medium, by the way. I don't think that is like my actual size, like if you went by the measurements, but I decided to do a medium because I didn't want it to be tight fitting. That is like my worst fear with sweaters that are tight fitting. It's just not me. But can I just say, Darling Jeddle's patterns, they are just written like so well, and it's just like so clear. And I'd really recommend, if you are like quite new to following patterns, because like she really explains things really well, and she has like video tutorials for all the techniques that you'll use, which I find really helpful because I'm such like a visual learner. Like sometimes reading it I'm like, what the hell are you asking me to do? And then I watch a video, I'm like, oh, that's easy. Okay, next one. It's another project bag. This is one of the other project bags that I made for myself. And in here we have something that I have been incredibly inspired to make because of Laura from Penrose Knits. I saw hers and I was like, I need that. Like, I don't know why, I just love it. So, and this is actually my first ever petite knit pattern, which is really exciting. So I am making the Friday slipover and I'm very excited about it. I love it a lot. This is how far I've got. I have worked the front and the back, and I have literally just joined in the round, and so far I'm loving it. This is also the first time I've ever worked with mohair, which I'll get onto in a second, but oh my god, I just love the fabric this is creating. So this is done in broken rib, which for someone who doesn't love doing rib, this was quite a big undertaking, but I honestly don't mind it because I love what the stitch looks like, and it's really not too bad. That row of just like normal knitting is just like, you need that. I don't think I could do the whole thing in rib, but I really want to do one that's like completely rib, but I'm not sure I could do it. I absolutely love the construction of this neckline and then the sleeves. Honestly, I obviously haven't done that many patterns, but it's just really different to what anything I've done before. So the yarn that I'm using for this is, actually let me just grab the new one. I'm using the Hobby Twister Solid, which is 55% cotton and 45% acrylic. I'm not really sure why I chose this, to be honest with you. I don't think I read it right on the website, I'm not gonna lie. This is in the shade 103, and when it arrived I was like, oh, that is really silvery. I'm not a huge fan, but I was like, okay, we're gonna overcome this and hold a mohair with it. And I knew I had a voucher, a gift voucher for We Are Knitters, which I got for Christmas, but it was nowhere near enough to buy like a sweater quantity. But I was like, that is perfect, buy some mohair to hold with that for my pullover. So I got the am I okay? I got the Touch Me Mohair by We Are Knitters, which is 54% baby alpaca, 22% super kid mohair and 24% mulberry silk, and this feels so nice. Like, it really does. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really not an expert in mohair. As I said, this is the first mohair I've ever used, but can we just appreciate the fabric that this has created? Look at the fluff. Can you see that? Oh, and it's just so soft, and I just cannot wait for this to be done. And I think it's just gonna be so nice in spring and summer, and oh yeah, I love it, and I'm really enjoying the knitting process of it. My camera battery died so I've just put it on charge for a little bit, and now we're back, so I could just quickly finish off this. My final whip is in this little project bag, and this one, Mum, if you're watching, please skip forward like a good 10 minutes for no reason. So this one I'm very excited about, and I am making my first ever shawl. Does not look like a shawl right now, but I can assure you it will be. It is partly because it's on a cable that is way too short now, but I don't even know how to show you this. Wow, you're really getting a great accurate representation here, but it's gonna be triangle shawl, that's how we call it, not sure. It has a garter edge, and then it's gonna be, yeah, increases down the middle, at the sides, you get what I mean. I've just started the first stitch pattern, which you can't really see very well because of the colour, so I'm a bit worried about it, but I hope it was going to be alright, and like by the end you'll be able to see it. Until now it's just been simple stockinette. But yeah, this is it so far. This is for my mum for her birthday. Her birthday is at the end of April, so I calculated that if I do 4 rows a day, we'll get it done. So hopefully get it done, because obviously now the rows are just getting longer and longer and longer, and there's just more and more stitches every time. But I am really enjoying it, and this definitely won't be the first shawl. The yarn I'm using is again from Hobby. I'm not obsessed with Hobby, okay? Well, maybe a little bit. This is the Cotton Kings Sultan yarn. Does it have a colour? Colour 06. It's a fingering weight yarn, 100% cotton. Did I say that? Not sure. 200 grams, 800 meters. And this is like not, and this is kind of like an unspun yarn, I guess you'd say. It's like literally just like 4 strands of cotton. But I am really enjoying it, and we've just started to transition colours, so yeah, I'm hoping that we will end the shawl with this beautiful light colour. I'm kind of nervous that we won't get there, but I'm pretty sure we will, because obviously it's only getting bigger, so I'm really excited to see what the finished project looks like. I am using a free pattern, again I'll put it on the screen. I found it on Lovecrafts, I think, and I really like it. The instructions are really clear. My first ever shawl. I don't know how people show shawls, like there just is no easy way of doing this. That is all of my whips at the moment. Okay, I think that is all of my current whips. So now we're going to move on to acquisitions. If you don't want to stick around for that bit, then thank you very much for watching. But if you would like to stay, then I've actually been very, very good, okay? And I don't have many acquisitions at all. Can I just say that since buying this, Sophie, who is the Knit Pearl girl, has come out with her video all about mohair. So do I regret buying this? I mean, not completely, because obviously everyone's opinion of it is different. I haven't obviously worked with it yet, but anyway, if you haven't watched that video, I'd really recommend it, because she just goes through like every mohair on the market and just like compares them all, and it's a really good video. Anyway, I got the Hobby Diablo mohair, which is 40% acrylic, 30% mohair and 30% polyamide, and I got it in this most beautiful pink colour. It's the colour 43. I'm obsessed. I did get this though because it was on sale for £1 something, and I was like, okay, I really want to buy a sweater quantity of mohair, and for that price I'm like, wow. I mean, not on sale, it's only £4 something, but when you're buying a sweater quantity, that's going to add up, and when it's £1 something, it's like, wow. So So I think I got 7 balls of this. It's 225 meters for 25 grams, which I think is pretty good, maybe. But yeah, it feels really nice. Not quite as nice as this one, I can't lie, but obviously this doesn't have any like acrylic content in it, so you know. So yeah, I got that. I'm very excited about it. And I just wanted to add, when I got my order from Hobby, because that's also where I ordered the Addy Sock Wonder needles on, only because I was already buying the yarn, so it just like made sense, because you have to pay $5.99 shipping, which is really good for it coming from Denmark, I think. But as a free gift, I got these stitch markers. Look at these. So cute. I cannot wait to use these. Love them. Okay, the next yarn acquisition that I got, I'm so excited about. It's probably a bit sad how excited I'm getting about all this, but what can I say? So I went to my favourite yarn and fabric shop I know, which is called Pins and Needles, and it's like a little drive away for me, but it's so worth it. And as I said, I just had 2 of my practical GCSE exams, so as a little treat I got this, which is, I mean, I've never heard of the brand, IAY, and then it says Irish Artisan Yarn. So there you go. This is 4 plies, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, hand dyed, and socks recalling my name. Look how beautiful this is. How amazing. I cannot wait. And that is all of my yarn acquisitions, I think. As I said, I've been very good. So yeah, oh, one last thing I'm going to show you actually was I made myself a little case for my needles, because I ordered a set just from Amazon. Like, they're not amazing needles, but they do the job. But as I said, I wanted to make socks, 4-ply socks, but I didn't have small enough needles, so I ordered this set from Amazon. And it came with ones, I think it was from like 1 point something, which I'm never using them, but you know, 2 5s, which has actually become very, very helpful, because I've currently got 3 projects all on 4mm needles. So yeah, but look, I made myself a little cake. So cute. I'm really happy with it. Yeah, for all my fixed circulars. So, and then obviously just labelled what size they are. So yeah, we'll chuff with that. Just a quick bit of chat. I won't keep you very, very long. I'm aware this probably has been plenty long enough already, but I have decided, if you watched the first episode, I did talk about some of my sewing projects, but I think I'm going to keep them separate and just keep this as a knitting podcast and keep my sewing videos as sewing videos, obviously, because I had a lot to talk about today and I don't think the amount I have to talk about is going to get any less. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep the knitting stuff in the knitting podcast, and then I am planning to do more videos, like what I'm planning to make for spring and like what I made in spring and like things like that for my sewing. So if you are interested in the sewing, then make sure to stick around for those videos. I would love it so much if you would subscribe if you did enjoy this video, and make sure you give it a thumbs up. That would mean so much to me. I think I have rambled on plenty long enough, so I hope you all have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you very soon for a brand new video. Bye!